The ultimate things in life are free, and we're keeping it that way. Subscribe to keep up with the latest games, tournaments, and community content. Share it with your team and friends, and drop a like to help spread Ultimate to more people. Spread the word, spread the love. ulti.TV.
Dans 5 ans, nous allons passer à la finale open. Donc toujours avec le 2 Game Advisor. Et donc cette finale open va opposer les deux équipes qui vont représenter la France au prochain championnat du monde à Cincinnati, comme Yaka qui a gagné juste avant sera aussi à Cincinnati. Donc voilà, toutes les équipes vont représenter la France et il y en a même d'autres. Il y a aussi les Monkeys et le Puc en mix. Voilà. Donc maintenant pour cette finale open, nous allons avoir en rouge le célèbre Iznogood de Tchac avec numéro 5 Sébastien Paz, numéro 6 Marcel Klinge, numéro 7, Felix Shardlow. Numéro 8, Lucas Bouton. Numéro 9, Félix Shardlow. Numéro 10, Arthur Orvault. Numéro 12, Phil Tchac. Numéro 14, Maël Maurice. Numéro 15, Pierre-Louis Colfer. Numéro 21, Nicolas Pérou. Numéro 23, Vincent Villiers. Numéro 24, Corvo Nguyen. Numéro 26, Jacob Rey. Numéro 29, Simon Ruel. Numéro 31, François Zoubir. Numéro 32, Nasser Mbaye-Vogel. Numéro 43, Johan van der Hoog. Numéro 45, Mathieu Beguen Demo. Numéro 51, JB Simon. Numéro 57, Clément Giffard. Numéro 69, Benjamin Felrich. Numéro 77, Eric Becker-Sanier. Et numéro 91, Joe White. Et numéro 2, Nicolas Pillon. Et avec le coach, Stéphane Rapaggio. Et donc ça commence par Madame Rouge, le club des Tchac et les locaux qui nous accueillent. Numéro 2, Paul Benvegen. Numéro 8, Thomas Lemiel. Numéro 9, Benjamin Bouchard. Numéro 10, Julien Grélet. Numéro 11, Thomas Herouet. Numéro 12, Romain Moret. Numéro 13, Vincent Habitat. Numéro 23, Mathieu Bochet. Numéro 24, Quentin Roger. Numéro 26, Corentin Grélo. Numéro 27, Axel Roger. Numéro 39, Bastien Chevalier. Numéro 42, Marco Delal. Numéro 62, Quentin Monod. Numéro 66, Laurent Fay. Numéro 68, Baptiste Perrault. Numéro 71, Sylvain Rondet. Numéro 80, Vincent L'Espagnol. Numéro 87, Frédéric Noir. Et numéro 91, Thibaut Bravo. Et pour côté cette équipe, Maximilien Oort. Et donc maintenant, nous allons écouter l'hymne national.
As the Marseillaise fades away into applause, welcome back to ulti.TV's coverage of the French National Championships. Final game of the weekend is the open final. Iznogood from Noisy-le-Sec taking on Tchac from Pornichet-Concept, and here in Orvault. Benjamin Rees on commentary for the last time this weekend. And let me tell you folks, I am pumped for this game. All weekend it feels like it's been building to this in the open division. Tchac and Iznogood seemed like they were on a collision course from the very start, and that's the way it ended up. Both with comfortable semi-final victories. Tchac dispatching Monkey of Grenoble 15-6, while on the showcase field. Iznogood overcame Magic Disc of Angers by a final scoreline of 15-7. Just heard the two teams be introduced in the French national anthem as well. Respected by everyone in attendance. A packed grandstand below me. Players lining the fields, eager to get a watch of what is sure to be an absolute barnstormer of a game. And it is a privilege to be able to bring it to you for free on ulti.TV. Our 10th and final game of the weekend. Iznogood just finishing their huddle. Looks like it's going to be Tchac to pull to begin the game. They'll start on defense. Wearing the white with the black shorts. Starting in the left-hand end zone. Iznogood in the red jerseys, black shorts. Currently bouncing around, ready to go. You can sense the tension here. It is palpable around the Stade de Garnier. Izno coach. And ulti.TV, not alumnus, colleague Stefan Rapazzo, just giving his final instructions. Iznogood O-line, Nassim Beyvogel, Joe White, Eric Becker-Chagnou, Johan van der Woede, Felix Shardlow, Koavu Nguyen, and Clément Giffard. It's the pull, a rolling backhand pull. And Beyvogel stops the roll, and Nguyen picks it up and just dishes off quickly to Beyvogel, and the final's underway. Very circumspect start here from Iznogood. Nguyen beckoning players towards him. Roll curving blade for White, just about sneaks past the beating figure of Sullivan Roblet. Here's van der Woede, looking for that inside backhand on the move to Eric Becker-Chagnou. But there's a pick in that very congested center of the park. Instead, the resets to Beyvogel. Fakes the first backhand. It goes back to van der Woede. Giffard. Joe White now. Using that wingspan, fakes the flick. Izno trying to get on to the move, and that's going to be a foul. Poul Bonvignen with the infraction. Discheck back in. Van der Woede curls it around for Joe White. Looks downfield, just a little inside backhand there to van der Woede, who zips a flick to Becker-Chagnou. Lovely little leading backhand to Joe White. He repeats the trick. He finds Felix Shardlow. And a nice clean hold there for Iznogood to start this game. They lead 1-0. It's felt like they spent a decent portion just slowly grinding and matriculating the disc down the field. But when they needed to, they turned on a bit of speed at the end, getting it around to the far side. Becker-Chagnou with this beautiful low release leading backhand to Joe White. And he deals one of his own to Shardlow to give Noisy-le-Sec a 1-0 lead. Gorgeous afternoon here in Orvault. Sun beaming down. Plenty of refreshing beverages being imbibed here in the stands. The Iznogood D line comes down, amped on by their charges off the field. Quentin Roger doesn't like what he sees downfield, takes the swing instead. Roger gets it back now. Behind, Bastien Chevalier. Kind of loitering and lurking behind those front line of defenders. Takes the swing instead. Goes back to Roger. Romain Moret. Central. Finds Mathieu Bosser. Just now on the far sideline. Again, it's a bit of a grind right now for Tchac, but it was for Iznogood at the start of the point, and they made it look slick by the end. This one is a low, flat rip. Came almost out of nowhere, and it is a touch too far for the laying out Quentin Roger. First turnover comes out of Tchac's hands. What can Iznogood's D-line do? Oh, that's a low throw, looking to lead the imposing figure of Tim Schock into space, but it's straight into the turf. Bosser picks up. Out wide. This is Vincent Abita. Back to Bosser. On the move to Chevalier, and a miscommunication. Roger just cleared out, but Chevalier had already released. Easy D that for Izno. That one, Page couldn't handle it. Gibier with too much mustard on it. And Roger picks up, taking advantage of the miscommunication. The Iznogood defense was napping. And they noticed. Bosser sneaks through for the goal. Or does he? Trying to work out exactly what's going on here. Maybe some discussion about whether players had stopped in anticipation of a call. I'm not sure. It's always difficult to be exactly sure of what the discussion is without being privy to the conversation. And the goal stands. So Tchac leveled it up at 1 apiece, but it was dicey. Gave Iznogood a couple of opportunities, but they couldn't really do much with either. Iznogood trot their own line back out there. See Seskidistas players celebrating with what I assume is their bronze medal. Similar looking O-line for Iznogood. Couple of changes made. Jacob Reins comes in. So does Lucas Bouchon. Prion Martin, the goal scorer, and Johan van der Woede sub out. Paul lands at the feet of Iznogood, and the first pass goes to the veteran Nasser Umbe-Vogel, been at the top of European and World Ultimate for well over a decade now. Joe White underneath to Bouchon. Bouchon back to Umbe-Vogel. Becker Chagnou leaks out of the near side, but instead this swung all the way to the far side of the pitch. Bouchon dumps off to Becker Chagnou. Fakes the flick to Giffard. White is the option instead. Rolls his wrist around that backhand. Becker Chagnou floats it to Umbe-Vogel on the far side. Zipped a little pass into van der Woede. Here's Becker Chagnou. It must have been mistaken about van der Woede not taking place at this point. I think it's Nguyen, the other player, not present. Down the sideline, and van der Woede with a little spike of a pass into Jacob Reins. That should be 2-1 to Iznogood. See it again here on the replay. Just a little one. Reins with that outstretched left hand creates a little bit of a backboard to secure the catch. So Tchac's O-line looked, let's be honest, rusty on that first point. Hoping for something a bit cleaner on this possession. Arcing Pool goes up, aiming for the back of the end zone. This might sail out of the side. And Quentin Roger signals for the brick. Monster of a pull from Pierre-Louis Combray. Evidently had his whatever the French equivalent of Weetabix is. Roger picks up and brings it in. Goes to Bosser. Oh, this one will float a little bit. Nicely plucked down with a little bit of flair as well from Abita. Abita wants to lead Roger. Roger just left it. Thought there was backup, but he was all alone. More silly errors and miscommunications from this Tchac offense. The American implant Shock has too much and it's too far out in front for Simon Ruel. Roger goes short this time. More. Back to Chevalier. Roger on the run. This is total. Oh, got his hand firmly caught in the cookie jar on that occasion. On the floor. Tries to squeeze that one in there to Roger. They say discretion's the better part of valor, and could maybe have done with a more valiant option on that occasion. Game advisors present to help aid discussion. They can provide perspective, but they cannot make binding judgments. They also help clarify rules. No call, turnover stands. If you're not sure about something, I always think it's better to call it and then retract it, rather than potentially just leaving it there to fester underneath the skin. Shock. Playing a little bit of a 1-2 with Perus. Wants to break this around towards the far side. Leaping up to make the catch. Benjamin Fenrich. Back to Shock, who he lost his footing ever so slightly, but was able to recover in time. Combray. Tchac's O-line playing really good defense. Izno still within the shadow of their own end zone, but that's a nice gainer downfield to Maël Maurice. Maurice thought about the little give off. Now he finds Shock. Shock on the move to Perus. Perus lead pass to Maurice. That'll probably go back on the pick. Or maybe not. Bastien Chevalier checks back in. Maurice thinks about the upline cut. Instead, a little inside-out window opens through to Shock, who throws another backhand too far out. Just has not been able to find that connection this game with Simon Ruel. And Quentin Roger bangs it deep, looking for Axel, and Axel Roger can't repay the faith. Chris Red was the defender. This might be another foul call. No. Turnover stands once more. I think he was thinking about whether the effort from Red maybe impeded him from getting a saving layout, and then deciding that maybe it was always too far out in front. So again, Tchac's O-line surrenders the disc. Here's Simon. Upline for Perus. Purposeful fake with that flick. Turns, pivots infield. We find Shock. Shock backhands it to Fenrich. Fenrich is looking for something expansive. Goes with the offhand instead. Shock floats one towards the far sideline, looking for Maurice. Chevalier can't come over the backside. Maurice catches for the Iznogood break. First blood to Noisy-le-Sec at 3-1. And whatever the problem is that's ailing Tchac's O-line, they need to solve it quick. Bit of a trust ball this from Tim Schock, putting the faith in Maurice. He had the position. Savalier desperately tried to come over the back. But a solid box out there by Maël Maurice will give Iznogood the game's first break. 3-1 to the men in red. This out of sorts Tchac O-line can they come up with maybe a set play or just maybe sub a couple of players through? Try and find something different to build the confidence. Ball comes up from Iznogood. Again, when it goes high, it catches a little bit of a breeze that blows it out of the far sideline. Another brick for Tchac. Quentin Roger is again tasked with bringing it in from the brick mark. Roger. Nice gainer downfield here to Moret. Moret with a little high release backhand. Axel Roger lays out to save it. There is a discussion about whether he did or not. That is comfortably down. Sometimes it's too close to tell. That one was not. Now Roger checks the ground. Another break chance for Iznogood. Is the profligacy of Tchac's O-line early on in this contest going to haunt them? Udomfong. Just about squeezes that one around. Perus, Simon. Overthrown. I think there was a pick downfield, but that disc was overthrown regardless. They'll have to decide when it occurred and whether this affected. Few stoppages early in this contest. And again, they're going towards the game advisors for some rules clarifications. I think we've seen the game advisors more already in this contest than we have all weekend. Hopefully whatever's going on between these two teams, they iron it out quickly, and we don't need to see them for much longer. Disc is back in the hands of Simon. Axel Roger checks in. Simon, underneath. Gibier. Perus finds himself on the deck. Just check back in. Gibier threads the needle inside. Perus back to Guerrer. Guerre finds Perus, sizzles one out into space! And the playmaker, Arthur Udonfong, answers the call. Another break for Iznogood. Second break in a row, 3 points in the bounce. From 1-1, it's become 4-1, and Tchac, understandably, take the timeout. The offense has been funky and not in a George Clinton kind of way. Whatever the problem is, they need to diagnose it and they need to sort it out ASAP. Imagine that's a pretty happy huddle for Iznogood there, and slightly more somber for Tchac. The two sides break from their respective team talks. As Tchac desperately tried to work out and diagnose the malady affecting their offense. Tchac sending a similar 7 out there. Have faith in their O-line to snap the skid. Both sides with large rosters. Izno with slightly more players available. And when you're on a break train, you can afford to keep rolling those fresh bodies out there. But Tchac keeping faith with their O-line, meaning a lot of their roster hasn't really played much. Stopping the roll. Trying to get it on the move now, Tchac. Chevalier. That's not going to help. Moray slipping on that cut. Roger. Canton finds Axel. And Axel Roger just turfs the throw. No real pressure on that one. Looking for Orvault. Shock picks up. Formidable foe. Looking downfield, high release. Spicy, but a nice catch by Benjamin Fonrich. Ruel to Shock on the doorstep. Can he force it over the precipice? No, he's going back to Simon. To Shock. Shock breaks the mark. And finds Simon Ruel for the goal. Iznogood are all over Tchac right now. And the worrying thing for the hometown side here is that if anything, Iznogood's D-line offense is looking a bit sharper. Before, they were generating turns, but they were giving it back. Now, they've added a clinical element to their game. Tchac finally making the switch to get some different bodies on. It makes sense, you've had that same side out there for the past 4 points. And sometimes even just to give them a chance to get a little bit of a mental reset, they're making the change. Getting an idea of precisely how much room there is in the grandstand, and that is basically none at all. Packed out for the open final of French Nationals. pull goes up from Sebastian Page. Lands and bounces. Fielded by Tchac. Bonvenien. Now a short flip to Faye. The lefty, Bonvenien. Looking for an option downfield, not really liking what he sees. And a little bit of a pick. Pick that I think could have been avoided with a bit more communication, passing that switch off more cleanly. Quentin Monus will keep the disc here. After Udonfong gets the chance to catch up somewhat. Actually, it is going to go back to Bonvenien. Coming in, stalling 6, and quickly offloaded back to Monus. Here's Perro. Now towards the far sideline, Lepagnol. Vincent Lepagnol. Those long levers. Finds a little bit of a window. Now goes all the way back to Chevalier. A constant calm presence on this O-line. And a low throw from Bosser into the turf. So many uncharacteristic throwaways that I'm not even sure I can call them uncharacteristic anymore. Perus. All the way around to Udonfong. I think it was looking at the next option before that pass was completed. Bastien Chevalier picks up quickly. Into the middle. Finds Faye. Faye furrowing that inside channel. Here's Roble. Roble going back. Udonfong loses position, trying to make a bid that was never there. Lepagnol into the end zone. And whether the cutter slipped or there was a miscommunication, I'm not sure. Whatever happened, it's not in Roble's hands, and Schock picks up and takes the timeout. Iznogood will get the disc on the end zone line when we resume.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, Ultimate TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
fund
our work
work
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Help us go electric, become a member.
If you want to become a member of ulti.TV and help us grow the game we love, there are some simple ways to do that. First, here on YouTube. Yes, you. I'm talking to you. Where you're watching this video. Don't think it's someone else. I'm addressing you specifically. If you haven't already, like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, everything that every YouTube video ever asks you to do. It really does help. You can also become a member of our Patreon page. And for as little as a pint of beer a month, although larger donations are gratefully accepted, you can help us cover more tournaments like this, like Swiss Nationals, where we are also this weekend, and like Windmill, London Invite, and WMUCC, all by the end of the month. Disc checked in for Iznogood, up 5-1, looking for a 5th point in a row against Tchac, and that's going to be a pick, was called a fair few seconds ago. Both teams traded to start the game, but Tchac's O-line was looking a lot messier than Iznogood's, and they're paying the price for that now. Schock finds Guerre. Guerra has Tchac clear out. Jinking and resetting on the dump. That's a really tough catch by Peruz that he made look so much easier than it was. Tchac milks that a little. Upline comes Guerra. He's blading this one to the end zone. Lepagnol can't get there because Sebastian Page posterizes for another Iznogood break. 6-1 they lead now. Noisy-le-Sec are rampant out here. And I'm not sure Tchac quite know what's happened. If it wasn't bad enough being down to your big rivals in a national final, to then have something like that happen to get on another break Iznogood are right at the crest of that wave of emotion right now. There are probably some very concerned Tchac fans in the stands. And some very less concerned Iznogood. The flick pull comes up from Colfer. Diving stop to field the pull. Little leading pass there for Bosser. It is low again. This time Roblet gets underneath it. Back to Bosser with those gloved hands. Quentin Roger leads this one to the near side. Moret makes the catch. Back to Roger. Roblet's opening plenty of space. The throw sailed a little bit, but it was caught regardless. Orvault. Big audible clap by Roblet. Orvault. Back to Axel Roger. Nice little inside flick there. Finds Abita. More traditional line out now. For Tchac, as a pick is going to stop proceedings temporarily with the disc in the hands of Sylvain Roblet. Fanrich on the mark. Looking for the up line, it's not there. Maybe the second one is looking for Quentin Roger. And in the tightest of windows, able to sneak that one through for the catch. Tchac, well, I can't tell whether they're more pleased, relieved, or frustrated. But finally they stopped the bleeding. It was 1-1 once upon a time. And then before they knew it, it was 6-1. Help defender can't quite get there in time. Thought about the spike. And then just a nice friendly little pat between Colfer and Roger. Tchac finally get a little bit of a foothold in this game. But they've still got a mountain to climb, down 6-2. And there is a timeout.
Hi, this is Vest. Me and my camera have been covering Ultimate Frisbee since 2012, and now I've been working with ulti.TV, streaming Ultimate Frisbee for you. And if you become a Patreon member, we can offer you more contents, especially those games that, you know, they are not live stream and they're happening at the end of the game. Half of it I can move and go in there and stream live. So become a member, go on ulti.TV.
The eccentric Italian raises a good point. Also, it says he's only been going since 2012. I've seen there's video stickers that look like they've been in places for well over 50 years. I don't know how he does it. They are everywhere. It's the open final here at the French National Championships. Those of you expecting a close, tight-fought contest, well, it might still become that, but at the moment, Iznogood are running away with it. 6-2 they lead Tchac. And for the first time since it was 1-1, they're trotting an O-line out there. Sometimes you do see it after a long break train. You've got an O-line that hasn't thrown around that much. It becomes a little bit dissociated from the game. And some rustiness or some errors can creep in. Coach Stefan Rapazzo will be very keen to make sure that doesn't happen as Eric Becker-Chagnon catches the ball. Short to Pluon Martin. Fakes the backhand. Tchac really crowding this open side. Break around instead to Nguyen. Dishes off to Mbaye Vogel. Low out in front of Pluon Martin. The home crowd chanting vociferously for the turn. Mbaye Vogel out in front of Giffard. Bid came in but didn't get there. Travel called. Liliev with the bid. I think Giffard just got his rules confused there. Went into the end zone and went to bring it to the front. Well, if it's an open play, you can't do that. So resets his feet where they should be. Short. Oh, it's going to be a little bit behind Joe White. That rustiness that we talked about that sometimes comes in after your D-line gets on a long break train shows itself there. Can Tchac find a way back? Sylvain Roblet. Johan van der Woede committing the infraction. Fakes the high release, goes back instead. Faye. Shot to Roblet. Sideline signaling for a pick downfield. Tchac's offense operating out of a vertical stack after the turn. Faye. Cheeky little one, take advantage of the face mark to find Quentin Roger. Roger to pull Bonvenien. Tchac get a break back for 6-3. You see it happen so often. Your D-line gets on a really good roll. Your offense comes back out eventually a little bit cold-cocked, caught unawares. And Tchac earned back one of those 4 breaks on the bounce that Iznogood were able to inflict. So smart there. Knows that Becker-Chagnon doesn't have a look at the disc, so just floats it beyond. By the time he sees it, it's too late. And then with that leading pass to the break side as well, forces out of position. Easy continuation for the goal. Iznogood's O-line heads back out there, having given up their first break in this final. Coach Stefan Rapazzo clearly unhappy with something. Involved in a frank discussion on the sideline with Nicolas Pigeon as this ball lands way out of the side. You think that might be bricked? I think it might be bricked. Mbaye Vogel. The green and blue soles of those Tokai cleats flashing behind him as he runs to pick up the disc. Bosser will put on the mark. Bouchon cuts towards the center of the field. Again, the crowd getting loud. Van der Woede fakes the backhand. rolls it around to Mbe Vogel. White to Bouchon. Now they're trying to cram it down the far side, and they got too greedy with it. Quentin Roger is coming up big now, and Roger uncorks a howitzer, looking for Lepagnol, and Lepagnol skies the pack, and then somehow it's caught by Thomas Lelivre. My word, mon Dieu, what is going on? Well, you could say that maybe they got a little bit fortunate. But hey, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, I guess. Although this is a ridiculous sky. Just snags it before white. And this one, I feel like they should not have got away with. A, with the throw, and also B, I know that he caught the disc, but in doing so, he's clattered into the Iznogood player there. I'm not a huge fan of that, in all honesty. Lepagnol climbs Jacob's ladder, and this, he's coming straight into him. I don't know if I love that. The break stands regardless. The physicality and the intensity ratchets up a notch. Seeing there, Quentin Roger, that hair tied behind his head, looking slightly piratical almost, smuggles that one away. Paul comes up from Roblet, waiting for it to fade back down in bounds. Really nice pull that. Pigeon Fields. Getting some different players on the O-line now. Here's Iznogood with Joe White. Joe White boosts it deep. Giffard, first point of contact just outside the end zone. And after the slightly unnecessary self-check, flips it in to Felix Shardlow to make it 7-4. Iznogood 1 point away from half. This game, it feels like they've used Joe White more for his cutting than his throwing. And just a little bit of a role reversal there. Bombing this one deep. Giffard, rather than trying to milk it all the way in, just secures the catch, sets his feet, and finds Shardlow a couple of yards away for the goal. So 7-4 for Iznogood. A game that's been full of twists and turns. That pull has too much. Bastien Chevalier hustles to the brick mark and gets the disc back, surrendering a couple of yards in the process. But nice little inside flick there. Dished off to Roger. The backhand across the field is too far for Bosset. Just got a bit hasty with that shot. Nearly connected regardless. It'll be Iznogood's disc with a chance to break for half. This brought in, and Roger tried to flash across for the poach block, but didn't get there. That means there's no mark on Beguin Demo, and he can't quite connect with Vincent Gibier. That could have been the dagger. Roger trying his best to earn that back, and it just squeaks through. And when you make bids like that, if it comes off, it's such a morale booster. But if they don't, you can leave yourself exposed, and that's nearly what happened. Bastien Chevalier finds Moret underneath. Axel Roger. Chevalier, little bit of a flick throw and go. There is a pick downfield. Half the tee don't seem to have noticed. Took them long enough. Sometimes you're so locked in and so focused, you kind of use that general field sense and field awareness. Happens to the best of us. Checked in. Player takes off deep. Oh, the huck is low and it is tipped. Guerra's on the ground, and Abita takes advantage. Pops it to Bastien Chevalier for 7-5. Again, maybe this is one of those looks that feels a little bit fortuitous. Tchac have had those at points this game. Just a little bit of Mac line practice, tips it on, although really you should be catching that one-handed if it's Mac line. And then Chevalier is first to hustle there to catch the follow-up. And in times like this, I am reminded of the great Yankees catcher and manager Yogi Berra. The harder you practice, the luckier you get. And it's one of those things, when you come from playing with players for so long and put all that work in, sometimes you get those breaks. That ball doesn't really trouble anyone. Eventually Nguyen is able to retrieve it. He'll bring it at the brick mark, with Iznogood looking to hold to take half. And Nguyen wants it all, trying to thread it to Joe White on the far sideline. Joe White pops up and toes it inbounds for 8-5, and that's half time. Nguyen getting some slaps in the backs. Joe White lording it up, trying to fire up his team. The shot was maybe a little bit telegraphed from Nguyen. And Tchac expected it. They were ready for it. They just couldn't stop it. 8-5 half-time. Iznogood leading Tchac here in Orvault in the open final of the French National Championships. Tchac in trouble, but given how bad it was at one stage, they won't be too unhappy with where they are now. They've shown they can get some breaks back and that they can still hang around in this contest and really make things tough to prevent the Noisy-le-Sec double here. We're going to take a little bit of a break for half-time. Don't go anywhere, because a thrilling conclusion of the Open final is up next.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches, and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch,
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ulti.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member
and fund our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the ultimate world and beyond. We are a group of ultimate players, coaches, and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch,
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ulti.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member
and fund our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the ultimate world and beyond.
Welcome back to ulti.TV's coverage of the French National Championships. The women's final already in the books. Noisy-le-Sec's Yaka having taken home the crown. And now, Noisy-le-Sec's open side Iznogood looking to replicate that achievement. And they're off to a very good start here, up 8-5 on Tchac. And it seems like they're in a pretty position. It could have been even better. 6-1 up at one stage. So Tchac have clawed back some of that deficit. And they'll try and do more here. So we begin the second half with a pull that lands out of bounds. Quentin Roger will bring it in at the brick. Inside throw is a little bit behind, but the second pass begins with a pass to Orvault. Axel Roger looking for Chevalier, comes into the backfield. Plays a 1-2 with Roger. Low, Quentin Roger spears it with the right hand. Chevalier tries to muscle his way up line. A couple of players double the cut. Swing goes to Bosser. Mathieu Bosser. Back to Moret. And that blade is going to go back, I imagine, on a pick on Maël Maurice. Still coming in on 2. Checked in. More to Bosser. High release backhand, accesses the space on the far side. Stretching towards the sideline, Axel Roger down the line for Mathieu Bosser. Much better start to the second half than the first for Tchac, where their offense was clearly discombobulated. But that was so much more organized, neater and cleaner from the local lads. And Roger beams this down the sideline. Bosser makes the catch in those gloved hands. And they're only 2 behind again at 6-8. Beautiful afternoon here. A wonderful summer Sunday in Orvault, just outside Nantes, in the northwest of L'Hexagone. Again, the partisan home crowd desperately trying to fire up a Tchac comeback. The pull from Orvault. It's caught by Nguyen. Doesn't take that initial throw to Mbaye Vogel. It does at the second opportunity. Here's Pion Martin, still very much in the end zone here. Is no good. And Mbaye Vogel sees Joe White going. Defender peels off. White can't get there at the first attempt, but gets there at the second. Lelivre couldn't cut it out. Giffard finds White. Blades it short. Becker Chagnon. Looking wide for White. He's got it. Nicely done for Iznogood. 6-9 now the score. See the replay here. Has the position, but they both go up. Kind of feel that if Lelivre was a little bit more patient, could have continued that box for a bit longer and really sealed White out of the play. But as he got it on the second attempt. Followed through into the end zone, and an emphatic spike from Joe White. Or should that be Gilles Blanc? I'm not sure. Either way, Iznogood, 3 points to the good. Coach Stefan Rapazzo's got another D-line set out there. And the pull goes up from Page. A raucous crowd here at the Stade de Garnier in Orvault. Chevalier's taken off deep, and there was a brief window where he was open. Page came off to cover in time. He's gone again. But it's too cluttered near the handler to get those hucks away, and I think that's the plan from Iznogood. Quentin Roger. Underneath. Romain Moret. Roger. Oh, little upside down, quick flip to his brother Axel. And I think this is going to go back on the travel. Too much go, not enough throw. For Tchac's liking, for Iznogood's liking on the quick release. Tapped in. And there's a pick downfield. Orvault gets it off the sideline by finding Moret. Now towards the far side of the field, Bosset, that tape on his right knee. Axel Roger, back to Bosset. Those two linked up for Tchac's previous point. Looking for some sort of motion. Oh, cheeky little lead throw. Love that to Vincent Abita. Orvault. Downfield. Oh, I thought the over the top was there. Instead, sneaks it to Bosset. He's going to blade it around the defense. Finds that crease. Sneaks it through. 7-9. Iznogood really doubled down on those strike cuts to the front of the end zone. And there are a couple of opportunities, I thought, where the over the top could have gone. This was one of them, and it was faked as well. Maybe the force did a good enough job of dissuading it. And Givier comes very flat to prevent the throw into the end zone, and he gives the space to really curl it around and slice open that seam. Hanging pull, fielded by Izno. And the first pass goes to Nas and Vogel. Takes the reset and plays a little bit of 1-2 with Reins. Now Bichon, back to Mbaye Vogel. Reins really wanted that throw to Giffard, but didn't have it. Came away to Mbaye Vogel. Now it's got White. White pumps that backhand. Resets. Mbaye Vogel opens up towards the far side. Becker Chonu. Giffard, there's going to be a stoppage here. Travel called. Quentin Roger playing both ways now for Tchac. Checks the disc in. Becker-Chagnoux, low, but White snaffles it. Becker-Chagnoux. Oh, this throw is low. That's an unforced error, really, from Iznogood, and we haven't seen too many of those this game. But it provides Tchac a path to come back. And Roger wants it all. Superb throw. A frozen rope deep to Sullivan Roblet. Roblet dishes for the score. Quentin Manus. Tchac only 1 point behind now at 8-9. Well, well, game very much exceedingly on. And a timeout is called.
Connor. Yes, Connor. Have you signed up to the ulti.TV Patreon yet? No, not yet. Why? We best get on it before London Invite. They've got 16 of the best men's and women's teams from around Europe, and it's the last stop before Worlds. And it's only $3.50 a month. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Well, I'll get on it late. It's on the right tab for you there as well.
London Invite, just one of the many events ulti.TV have got coming up this summer. That in a couple of weeks' time. You can find tickets to the event to go and watch live in person in the description of our YouTube videos, or you can watch it with ulti.TV. Before that, we've got Windmill next weekend, and even before that, the conclusion of the French Open National Final. Tchac pulling to Izno, forcing their way back into this game. Nguyen to Mbaye Vogel. Comes wide to Joe White. Fakes the flick. But there's a backhand to Van der Wood. Here's White once more. Using the wingspan to get wide. Mbaye Vogel. Underneath Van der Wood. Bid doesn't get there from Abita. And Van der Wood jacks it. He's looking for Joe White. One-on-one in the end zone. Oh, it's tipped away. Brilliantly done from Sullivan Roblet. And the home crowd loves it. Look at it again on the replay. Two of them jostling for position. And Roblet just about goes up early enough. I think Joe White maybe underestimated the wingspan and reach of his opponent. That might be a little bit unfair, but if that is what happened, I'm pretty sure it won't happen again. Because nothing is a lost cause for these guys. Oh, that throw is floaty. Stocker's come over to Izno's D-line, can't get it back. There is a pick. Tchac back in. A break here would bring Tchac level. Fai to Moret. Bonvenien looking, doesn't really like what he sees. High stall, hammer to the far sideline. Going up, oh, could only tip it over the bar. Roble. Nassembe Vogel did just enough. Agonizing for Tchac. White to Van der Wood. Shock takes off deep. Giffard might put this. Very good force coming across from Corentin Gros. Stops it. White. Again demonstrating that reach. This time wants to sit one over the top for Van der Wood towards the back of the end zone. Reels it in for 10-8. Iznogood's 2-point advantage restored. But Tchac, you can tell, are coming closer. There was a moment when I thought that Van der Wood wasn't going to get a chance to catch up to it. But in the end, it was weighted lovely. Lovelily? It's weighted beautifully, we'll go with instead. Very lively atmosphere here at the Stade de Garnier in Orvault. Iznogood looking to complete a Noisy-le-Sec double after Yaka won the women's title in the previous game. Roger towards the far sideline for Bosset. Through the middle, all thought about putting the block in, and in the end it was just enough distraction. Shooting over the top towards the back of the end zone. Players cleared each other out a little bit. Ruel took a very hefty landing. Combray tried to strike quickly. But Tchac playing very good sudden change defense. Flocking to the back of the end zone to get in the way. Bosset will bring it to the front of the end zone. Another chance this point for Tchac. Abita. Bosset. Goes to Chevalier. But it doesn't get there from Fenrich. Low on the far sideline. Orvault. Wants it around. Oh, that's tipped on the mark. Not enough on it though. From Combray. Still completes the target. And now it's gone deep. Red can't get there. Quentin Roger can. 9-10. Good effort, not quite good enough. Iznogood again, came close to getting the turn. But this is absolutely leathered deep. And in the end, it's an expertly done catch from Quentin Roger. He doesn't overrun it. Gives himself enough space. Judges the line and length of this put from Moret beautifully. Doesn't really give Red a chance. Plucks it out of the sky with that right hand. Tchac still very much in touching distance. Iznogood coach Stefan Rapazzo, trying not to give too much away. What if he's got anything cooked up on offense? Quentin Rocher is trying to fire up the crowd for Tchac, and the pull goes out of bounds. It's been a scintillating final, but if I had to say anything, the standard of pulling could maybe be improved. We've had a fair few bricks. It's the one thing that you know is going to happen every point. Someone's going to pull and someone's going to field it, and it annoys me that teams don't practice it more. I appreciate that the grandstand does make conditions tough, however. Nguyen brings in. Van der Wood on the far side, suspiciously open. I suspect that's a pick. Vogel catches the reset. He does have Nguyen available. Oh, instead goes for the scuba. And Becker Chagnou calls the foul on Thomas Lelivre. Uncontested foul is the result in the end. So the disc will stay with Iznogood and Eric Becker-Chagnon. Travel called. Using Becker of edging out a little bit on these pivots. Becker-Chagnon. Low. Timeout called. I thought maybe it was going to be a strip, but it turns out that Sullivan Roblet got there clean in front of Van der Wood, and Tchac calling the timeout with a chance to break to bring us level. Here's the replay. Becker-Chagnon gets it back. Van der Wood makes this diagonal undercut, and the inside goes. And Roblet somehow gets there first. Oh my word, he just somehow must have come through the middle. The split second before Van der Wood was able to establish control. That is so, so tight. But has Roblet wrested the momentum in Tchac's favor? He will have the disc in his hands, coming off the timeout. Faye is set up as the reset. Le Pagnol, front of the 5 downfield, set up vertically. With no stall, they can have their choice of mark. And they're going to choose Joe White. See if he can put those long limbs to good use. They're surrounding the stack slightly. Checked in. Throw goes wide to Le Pagnol. Bosse tries to power underneath. Snags it. Out in front. Roblet. Running a give-go in the backfield. Oh, the throw was tight but completed. Bosse smuggles it past Joe White. Faye to Le Pagnol. Le Bagnol to the end zone for Mathieu Bosser. We're level. And what odds would you have had on this when Iznogood was 6-1 up? Well, we did say that even though it wasn't necessarily tight at the start, it always did promise to be a hell of a game. And Tchac have come back in some style. Bosser down the line for the goal. Nyaka trying to power up their friends from Noisy-le-Sec. See if they can bring home the French double, just as they did at Tom's Tourney. The crowd is so involved. Maybe they've been that extra player out there on the field that has powered this Tchac comeback. On a beautiful day here in Orvault, there is nowhere I would rather be as the ball lands and takes a hefty roll out the back of the end zone. It'll be brought to the front by Jakob Reins. No, actually, they're going to have Nas take it instead, collecting it from a young fan behind the end zone. And Vogel, Schiffer screaming for it underneath, eventually gets it. Here's Bouchon, dishes it off to Mbe Vogel. He rips it deep, looking for Becker Chagnon. And Lelivre gets a hand in there, but unfairly, says Becker Chagnon. Not the first time those two have tangled in this contest. Here it is again from the closer angle. I'll be honest, I don't know. I ain't got a Scooby. Players trying to come to a resolution on the field. It's going to be contested and sent back. After an apparent gulf at the start of this game, there is now nothing between these two sides. Regardless of the result, the Tchac comeback has been phenomenal. Can they come all the way? That is the question. Check back in. Oh, Glasto rules. And Vogel's done it again. This time, Becker Chagnon makes the catch. Dumps to Joe White. There's a lot of clutter in the end zone. Could do with a little bit of Marie Kondo organization. Because seeing everyone going everywhere in all different directions does not spark joy. White to his machine and his no teammate shocked for the goal, 11-10. in a game that's been so pulsating and exhilarating. Simple score like that sometimes feels underwhelming. Izno coach Stefan Rapazzo wouldn't mind 4 points exactly like that. In the background, you're seeing the celebrations from Magic Disc of Angers, having cemented the bronze medal in the open division. Much to the distress of the Monkey Grenoble players, who faced them. If you think that hurt, think how bad it's going to be for one of these teams. White with the pull. Choosing not to catch it, instead fielding it on the bounce. Here's Angers. White's slowly getting into position. Offhand, backhand to this near side. Here's Abita. It is very loud here. As a sliding save made by Axel Roger. Bosser. Oh, and the point block in the end zone. What a chance this might be for Iznogood to get their first break in a long, long while. And Fenrich, oh, it was the foot block as well. That is downright disrespectful. And it's shocked to White for 12-10. I think Quentin Roger took a little bit of umbrage at the celebration from Joe White. Spiking the disc into the ground, was checking it to see if it was damaged. But a brilliant foot block from Benjamin Fenrich. And White to the front of the end zone, inbounds, slams it into the ground. And you can see that Roger checked the disc. So that's their first break in this half. I think their first break since they broke to go 6-1 up, a run of 4 breaks in a row. And what a time for it as well. Not only to fire themselves up, but also to snuff out a little bit of Tchac hope as well. Quiet in this partisan home crowd. Ultimate is so much better when it's got an atmosphere and an intense crowd like this one. Credit to all the players and fans that have stuck around to watch. Be that in the stadium or on ulti.TV's YouTube channel. We see you, we appreciate you. Bastien Chevalier catches the pull. Goes to Quentin Roger, they're off to the races, not quite. Roger. Axel Roger jinking and diving, squirrels his way free. Oh, cheeky over the top backhand. Now coming short. This is going so quick. Roger to Orvault in stride for the goal. Beautiful run and gun there from Tchac. A hold that they desperately desired. And that's so cheeky over the top. Roger sets his feet, picks out the option, and then he's off again once more. Maurice maybe just a little bit slow, cedes that inside position to Orvault, sprints on that strike cut, gets it at the front cone. Tchac just one down. What a game. See there's some on the sideline enjoying the festivities on a beautiful afternoon in Orvault. And why the hell not? Where else would you rather be? Pull goes up from Tchac. A floater coming down with hang time. Orvault gets a little bit of a bumper and a barge there from Bosser. Scuba into that dangerous zone, but White makes the catch comfortably enough. And a player's taken off deep, and I don't think that's going to go. Nguyen wants to spread it wide to Chagnon. Fakes the high release backhand. Goes to Jafar instead, who lays out, but not a problem for him. Low, this one's snagged by Van der Woude. Back to Orvault, Bosser bids but doesn't get there. Players flying about all over the place. Chagnon thought about the deep. Faye just flashed into that lane. Underneath, Van der Woude puts his name on its stall out call. That pat on the head, the WFTF hand signal for the stall out. Oliver, who always seem to be in amongst the thick of things on a defensive basis for Tchac. Stall out is contested. It'll come back in on 8. Chagnon quickly, high release. Back to Nguyen, over the head of Faye. White. Looking downfield, Lepagnol on the mark. Goes short to Orvault. Tries to beckon options closer. He likes that scuba, does Nas. Unleashes it again, this time as a reset to White. Nguyen, almost a lackadaisical cut there from White. They're trying to force him downfield to prevent him as a cutting threat. He skies one deep to Orvault for the catch and 13-11. Nas maybe doesn't have the elite speed that he did once upon a time. He's seen him majority of the time as a handler today and this weekend. But you cannot switch off because players of that ability, of that intuition, will sense when you're slacking off and they'll go and they'll take what they want. And in that case, it was the deep. Nas laps up the applause from the Yeka and Noisy-le-Sec fans to our right. And players, I should say. Tchac ready to receive. Correa with the pull. I think that's going to curl out of bounds on the far sideline. Yeah, it is. Didn't get enough inside out on it. Another brick. This time it's Bastien Chevalier to bring in from the brick mark. Vincent Gibier will set up the force. Working out of a horizontal set. Pushing Roger slightly downfield out of the handling core. Chevalier, back to Moret. Abita. Slung that sidearm to the near sideline. Very rappy looking force there. From Maurice. Not sure if he's calling the disc space, but it definitely looks like there's a wrap in there. I will be honest, I don't know what the French term for wrapping is. Roger. Down the sideline to Axel Roger. Continues the flick into the end zone. To a pump, Frédéric Mer. 13-12, Tchac still one behind. They're staying in touching distance, but can they overturn the deficit? Roger always sets up in that neutral stance because it gives him the opportunity to throw it lefty or righty. This time the righty flick down the line to his brother Axel. He finds Mer in the end zone. I think our timer's running a little fast. Don't think the cap's on just yet. And Tchac players trying to get the sideline and the crowd fired up. This pool hangs, and all of those pools that seem to sail over the height of the grandstand drift out of that far sideline, but this one regains its edge and lands in the lap of Becker Chagnon. Not seeing an awful lot going on here, just about tosses that one off. To Nguyen, he finds some Vogel. White in the centre. Becker Chagnon comes underneath. But Giffard clears out and the defender's in that lane. Back to Nguyen. High release right down the middle of the field. Beautiful throw to Becker Chagnon. But maybe create a little bit of space by dragging that back foot. That's the claim of Paul Bonvenyan. It's going to go back to Nguyen. Becker Chagnon. Oh, this is high for Van der Woude. It's over his head. Laid out. No, not quite for Giffard. Signals the turnover immediately. Good spirit. Heads up play to try and rescue it. And spirited as well to signal it down. Immediately lash deep. Jump in stride. It's 13s. Quentin Manus with the catch. More heads-up play after the turn. Bringing it in quickly. And Orvault, arguably the player of the game for Tchac. Finds Quentin Manus going deep. Didn't we tell you it would deliver? 13 all. The final. In the open division of the French National Championship. Not a hair between these two sides. Nguyen looked a little awkward catching the ball, but he secured it safely enough. White coming underneath. Van der Woude takes off. And White gesticulates to get him out of there. And Vogel. Giffard pops up slightly, not a problem. So reset to Nguyen. Can break this around. On the far side, Prion Martin. Feels like I haven't said his name in a while. White looking for Vogel. Those two already built up some chemistry. He goes back to White. Giffard. Moves wide into space. Swings to Nguyen. Van der Woude. Continue the options to the break side. Just about sneaks that through! And the distraction must have worked because Lucas Bouchon couldn't catch it, and Tchac take the timeout with a chance to take their first lead of the game. They were 6-1 down at one point. Listen to this crowd.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, Ulti.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
fund
our work
work
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
You know the call to action's coming. Like, share, subscribe, ring for notifications. Become a member of our Patreon page as well to help us bring you more scintillating encounters like this one. The French Open National Final. Tchac versus Iznogood. Tchac with the disc. Chance to break to take the lead for the first time. Underneath to Bosser. Bosser. More. High release inside. Lepagnol, it's a little bit behind. Bosser can't rescue it. Van der Woude picks it up and jacks it. Just out of reach of Bonvignon. White makes the catch. He might dish this off to Van der Woude. No, he's looking for Jafar. Sees the thread. Exploits the thread. Kick spike from Bouchon, who dropped the disc that gave him the turn in the first place, and then White kick spikes to follow up. Iznogood hold on, 14-13. For the first time, Tchac had the disc to take the lead, and they couldn't make it work. I think a couple of the Tchac players maybe having some problems with some over-exuberant celebrations, perhaps. 14-13, game to 15. It's going all the way, baby. If you're Iznogood, what do you do? Do you put your first choice line out there? See if you can break for the win now, prevent it going to universe? Or do you leave something in your back pocket so that if it does get there, you can send out your strongest possible 7? Looks like a standard D-line for Izno. Tchac. Have to score here to stay alive. The pull from Mathieu Begoin-Dumont. Lands in the end zone. Fielded. First pass to Bastien Chevalier. Chevalier, he's got a poach in Bosser, and that's where he goes. Bosser to Morer. Back around to Bosser. Quentin Roger, I think he was thinking about the big briefly, but choosing to keep it in the locker. Chevalier dishes to Bosser. A lot of throw and go. Pick downfield is going to bring a stop. She doesn't even think it is downfield. I think it's in the handling set on one of those strike cuts. Maybe running too close to the force. I think that's what shock seems to be indicating. Disc is going to stay with Moret here. Little bit of shape on that throw. Still finds the target. Orvault. Axel Roger faking the hammer. Swinging it instead. Can't afford to be reckless. And the layup in, no! What lightning cat reactions from Bastien Chevalier. He's convinced that was up. Huge hand. I think that's good. I think that's up. And I say that not just because he's been very kindly housing us for the past couple of days. I think that's up. Izno players on the sideline saying they think it's up as well, and it stays in Chevalier's possession. Chevalier fakes the scuba. Not yet, low, going to ground. This time Orvault keeps it up. Pick in the middle. Oh my word. My heartbeat's racing. So is everyone else's in the crowd, I'm sure. If we didn't have high blood pressure before, it might do after this. Orvault goes into the backfield. Oh, the backhand, oh, flopped, but caught again. How many get out of jail free cards have Tchac played this point? Axel Roger on the end zone line. Jams it into his brother, Quentin Roger. C'est univers, unless there's a call. I have no view whether that was in the end zone or not, if that is even the call. There's so much congestion down by that sideline. How did Bosser keep that alive? Tchac not just playing with fire. Or dicing with death. There, I mean this. I'm almost lost for words. They're going to call it not in. Calls for everyone to get refocused. Quentin Roger on the end zone line. No stall. Checked in. Pick almost seemed inevitable with that many bodies in that tight a space. Maurice checks in. Mathieu Bosser, oh my word. Can't have been a window in there. Shot calls the foul. So maybe there was a push-off. Or that he almost cleared him out of the way. Here it again. Maurice checks in. Maybe a little push out of the way. Stays with Quentin Roger. Continually getting players coming to that front side of the end zone. Stall out called. At least I saw someone make the tap on the head for the stall. No way that had been 4 seconds since it had been checked in, though. No way. It is stall 8, though. Where do you go? High release backhand. Oh, takes advantage of Tim Schock's face mark. It is Universe, 14 apiece. It couldn't have happened any other way. He knows that he has to get rid of this almost instantaneously. As soon as it's checked in, he sees the face mark and he just pops it over Tim Schock's head. Nothing he could do. Once he'd come into the face mark, it was over. As long as Canton Roger could execute the throw, and he could. So the two coaches, Maxime Garros for Tchac, Stefan Ropazzo for Iznogood. Getting their 7 out there. Who can I see for Tchac? Quentin Monus, Canton Roger, Vincent Lepagnol, Sullivan Robles, Thomas Olivo, Romain Moret, Mathieu Bosset. For Iznogood, Tim Schock, Eric Becker-Chagnou, Joe White, Nassim Bey-Vogel, Johan van der Wood, Koivu Nguyen, and Clément Giffard. Nguyen catches the pull. Joe White isolated in space on the near side. They're going to send Becker-Chagnou deep, and Joe White is not going to put it. Instead he goes underneath. Boot from Quentin Roger doesn't get there. Both players land heavily. Becker-Chagnou held on anyway. Slap of hands, uncontested foul. Disc in on 0. Checked in. Becker-Chagnou. Goes low. Giffard on the sideline. Finds Bey-Vogel. Bey-Vogel. 2 players in that area. Nguyen puts his name on it. Wants to go back to Bey-Vogel. Swings wide to White. Lepagnol puts on the mark. Back to Bey-Vogel. Now White. White to Becker-Chagnou, but a push-off foul, I think. Heart-in-mouth moments for players, coaches, fans here, fans at home. The lean figure of Joe White, blonde hair behind his head, peeking out the back of that cap, picked downfield. It was a long time ago. And a Universe point far, far away. Nassim Bey-Vogel and Mathieu Bosset still would have faced up with shared interests and with differing intentions many times. Coming in on 4, Joe White. Wants the break, no, goes short. And Bey-Vogel to White, still not in just yet, but they are right on the precipice of the title. What does White have in it? Cramp, apparently. What a time to get cramp. Joe White won't be the hero. Could it be a substitute? Jakob Reins. Checked in. Reins. Will he end it in 1? No, not yet. Tries to find the thread through. He's got Nguyen. Stall out called. Almost inevitably. If that was 10 seconds, then I'm a monkey's uncle. assuming that White caught the injury as soon as he made that catch, does not feel like 10 seconds. It'll be coming in stalling 8. What have you got in your locker, Rhines? Lepagnol checks in and he goes back to Becker Shonyo. Give me the possession alive. This time to Van der Woude. It'll stick. Iznogood are national champions. 15-14 over Tchac. It's a Noisy-le-Sec double. What a game. And the ecstasy of victory and the agony of defeat right there on the field. Players from both sides hug, exchange comments and gestures. What a game. Oh, you'd have been forgiven after the first 15-20 minutes for thinking that Iznogood would have run away with it. But Tchac fought all the way back. They even had the disc with a chance to take the lead. They couldn't make it work. And Izno, by the narrowest of margins, by the thinnest of skin on their teeth, get themselves over the line, literally and metaphorically. And Iznogood are your open division French national champions. Oh my word. I need to lie down and an ice cold beverage. What a game. What a weekend. Just drink it all in. That's all you can do. It could so easily have gone the other way. On this occasion, Iznogood triumph. On another day, it could have been Tchac. What a way to wrap up the weekend here at the French National Championships. Congratulations to Yaka, your women's division champions, and Iznogood, your open division champions. It's been phenomenal to be here in Orvault, in northwest France. A privilege and an honor, as it always is. Keep your eyes locked on ulti.TV. A reminder that all these games you can watch back for free, on demand, at your leisure, on our YouTube channel. So make sure that you like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications to get them. And make sure you can keep on top of all our content. While you've been watching these games, we've had a team at the Swiss National Championships as well. So you can watch all of those games back for free on demand as well. Next week, we're off to Amsterdam for Windmill. All of those games live for free on our YouTube channel. The week after that, we're at the London Invite. And from London Invite, straight to Limerick for the World Masters Ultimate Club Championships. So much Ultimate coming up on ulti.TV, and you can be a part of it by watching or by becoming a member, subscribing to our Patreon page, and for as little as the price of a pint of beer a month, you can help support Grow Ultimate and grow the game, and help us to broadcast more sensational, spectacular matches like this one. On behalf of all our ulti.TV crew here and worldwide, for Mike Palmer, I am Benjamin Rees. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in Windmill in a couple of days. Yaka, Women's Division Champions. Iznogood, Open Division Champions. And we'll see you on the other side for Windmill.
Fuck, Swiss and French National at the same weekend? Who comes up with this shit? How can I make this work? If only I had a magical elevator or something. Hey, dude!
You called?
Where did... From down under.
I came as quick as I could.
What? Magic.
Someone said there's some spirited Ultimate here to film.
Yes, let's do it. All powers combined.